What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about Social Security. This is a Social Security update. I have a few things that I need to talk about with you guys. First off, we're going to go over the calendar, so the payout date, so we'll look at that. We're also going to talk about COLA, so the COLA increase. We have the date now, so we know when the Social Security Administration will be announcing it. And then I want to talk about the Social Security Fairness Act. We have movement when it comes to the Social Security Fairness Act. We have a discharge petition. I'll explain what that is, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But this is good news, because I think what's going to happen, and this will happen after the election, but I think what we'll see is we'll see more talk of reform for Social Security. And reform could be an increase for Social Security benefits. We're going to have some different bills that are going to come out. Now, let me make this clear. The Social Security Fairness Act doesn't have any reforms in it. All it does is eliminates weapon GPO. But you need a revenue source. You need to bring money in. And if you need to bring money in, that's when you need to start talking about reforming Social Security. So we'll talk about all that in this video, but first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you'd like to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so let's go ahead. First thing I want to take a look at is the calendar. So the calendar for October, we are almost here in October already. So I want to show you the payment dates, and then we're going to take a look at when we're going to hear the announcement when it comes to COLA. So payment dates first. We have the 1st, so Tuesday. Tuesday, that's when people who receive SSI, you'll receive your checks. On the 3rd, that's when people who started receiving Social Security prior to 1997, May of 1997, you're going to receive your checks. Now, on the 9th, 16th, and 23rd, that's when the rest of the checks will go out, and they base it on your birth date. Now, one other thing I want to show you on this calendar that you're not seeing, you don't see, and I usually put when Congress is in session and when they're not in session. This is not an error. Congress will not be in session in October. All of October, Congress will not be in session. Okay, so that's why you don't see anything there. So that's something that should be, worth noting. And the basic reason, and the reason that they're going to give is we're running for re-election. In the House, everyone's running for re-election. In the Senate, you only have a third, so you do have some senators that are not running for re-election, but they're still not going to be in session. And so that will be their argument. We're focusing on our campaign. We're trying to get out the last minute, town halls and all that kind of stuff. Nonetheless, an important date in October, the Social Security Administration will announce the COLA increase for 2025. That will be on the 10th, okay? And I will let you guys know that information. I'll give you guys some predictions a little bit before the 10th, and then on the 10th, I will give you guys that final information because we'll have it at that point. We'll be able to confirm it. Now, the Senior Citizens League, every month they've been coming out with a prediction. And so I'm going to show you what the prediction is right now. And so it says, with 1 month left, COLA for 2025 forecasts at 2.5%. So that is what we're looking at, around 2.5% for COLA. Now, it should be interesting to note that's not much. And when you look at the average monthly benefit for retired workers is $1,920, and that's like $48 increase, a $48 increase. And then you have to understand if you're receiving Medicare, Medicare will probably go up $10. So they're going to take $10 from that. So you'll be at maybe around $38, the average person receiving Social Security benefits. Now, there will be people that fall under that average, and so they're going to receive even less than $48, and some people who are above that average, and so they'll get a little bit more than $48. But all in all, when it comes to inflation and what we've been watching, and I show you guys a CPI score, I talk about that every month. The reason that I talk about that is because they're taking that CPIW and they're giving you that information. So if inflation is down, then COLA is also going to be down, because the reason that you have the cost of living adjustment is to adjust for inflation. And so it's good news that inflation is down, but when you start to look at COLA, when you start to look at these cost of living increases, they're going to be much lower. And that's the way it's designed. And so we'll have to see. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update. And I know I haven't really been talking too much about Social Security. I've been tied into this whole election and talking about the final month before our election. And so I've been talking a lot about that, but I will be getting back to Social Security, and I will keep you guys updated when it comes to any changes when it comes to Social Security. Actually, one more thing that I want to talk about, and this is really, really important, and I should have actually led with this. When it comes to Social Security, there's a new bill. There's a discharge petition for a new bill. And what a discharge petition is basically, it is if the speaker doesn't want to bring something to the floor, they can do a discharge petition. And basically what that means is they're looking for signatures. If they can get signatures for the lawmakers in the House, and they get enough, they get a majority, 218, that's what they need, and that's what they received, then they can move forward without the speaker bringing a bill to the floor. They can force the bill to the floor. And that's what's happening with the Social Security Fairness Act. Now, I've talked about that bill in the past, and basically it eliminates WEP and GPO. Okay, now if you guys want to know more about WEP and GPO, I did a full video on that. I outlined it, show you an illustration, everything. I'll have a link to that video in this video so you can check it out. So at the end, you'll see a link. And so you can go over there and find out all the information you want to know about WEP and GPO. It pretty much helps people who are receiving pensions. Okay, people who are receiving pensions, you get reduced Social Security benefits because you're receiving a pension. That's the way it is right now. What they want to do is they want to eliminate that so you can receive the full amount. Now, the good news about this is right now the Social Security Fairness Act only eliminates WEP and GPO, but it doesn't talk about reform. But most politicians know that we need to reform Social Security. And you can't just say, okay, we're going to eliminate WEP and GPO, because if you eliminate WEP and GPO, that means that people are going to be receiving more money from Social Security. So let's say you have a pension and now you're only receiving a certain amount of Social Security because of your pension, because they're offsetting it. Now, if they eliminate it, now you're going to receive the full amount. And if you receive the full amount, then guess what? That means that that trust fund, the two trust funds that we've been talking about, they will deplete much faster. And so right now the projection's 9 or 10 years? That could go down to 7 or 8 years. And that's just because you have people that are going to be receiving more money. Social Security is going to have to pay out more. And so what this will do, this Social Security Fairness Act, and they haven't brought it to the floor yet. They're not going to bring it to the floor until after the election. And so if they, we'll have to see how it works out, but they have the discharge petition, so they can bring it to the floor anytime they want. But I'm thinking they're going to do it after the election, so it'll be pretty much a lame duck Congress when they bring it forward. But nonetheless, this situation could mean that they start really looking at reforming Social Security, which is good, because that's what we've been talking about all this time. They need to reform Social Security, provide an increase for Social Security beneficiaries, all of that. They will start talking about that because they know they can't just eliminate WEP and GPO without having a funding source. You have to be able to bring in more money. If you don't bring in more money and you eliminate WEP and GPO, that's going to be a disaster. And so that will shine some light on, like the Social Security 2100 Act and some of these other proposals that are out there that provide an increase. They eliminate WEP and GPO. They have funding. So all of that, that's what we're looking at now. And then also, one other thing. Kamala Harris, obviously she's running for president. If Kamala Harris becomes president, guess what? She has not made the pledge, the same pledge that President Biden made. President Biden made a pledge that said that he is not raising taxes on anyone making less than $400,000. Harris didn't make that same pledge. And that pledge that Biden made is one of the reasons why it was so hard to reform Social Security. Because Bernie Sanders had a good plan out there, but he wanted to raise taxes on people making $250,000 or more. And Biden couldn't go with that plan only because he made the pledge of not raising taxes on people making less than $400,000. And so now we could be in a situation where we could see some more proposals that are out there to reform Social Security, and that would be good. And so I want to know what you guys think about all this, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.